Vito's finisher would involve Vito putting his opponent's head under his dress so that the face was facing his crotch.
No! Oh my God! No!
So you basically getting teabagged for real. He even had on a jockstrap, not even a jockstrap, he had on a G-string. So he basically really had his nuts in your face. Alright, motherfuckers, we back here. It's time to react once again. We got 10 WWE wrestling finishes. So lame, you'll laugh. And I can think of plenty of finishes, but we'll be here all goddamn day just listing off the worst goddamn finishes that I just can't stand to look at. And one of them in particular is Hulk Hogan's leg drop. I never liked Hogan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like the Hollywood Hogan when he was in WCW. Heel Hulk Hogan. Babyface Hulk Hogan, the Say Your Prayers and Eat Your Vitamins Hogan. That shit was corny as hell, bro. Granted, it was the 80s. You know what I'm saying? All the wrestling in the 80s was corny. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. That's what they call the golden era. I'm probably going to piss off a lot of wrestling fans. I've been watching wrestling 20 goddamn years. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Shut your mouth. I grew up in the attitude and ruthless aggression there. Anyway. 10 WWE wrestling finishes so lame you'll laugh. This is, of course, by WrestleLamia. You want to watch the You want to watch the... I did it again. You want to watch the original video? The link is in the damn bathroom stall. Excuse me, the goddamn bathroom stall. Full screen this whole Lego. I almost knocked this shit right out of my ear, bro.
A wrestler's finishing maneuver should be the biggest, boldest move they have in their arsenal.
Exactly. Exactly. If you wonder what I'm drinking outside of this beer, I dumped the rest of it in this black cup. I actually got Kool-Aid in here as well, so I'm drinking a Corona and Kool-Aid at the same time. Talk about struggle meals, I'm making struggle drinks out this bitch.
But with that being said, here are 10 of the most lamest finishing maneuvers in WWE history. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos.
Catching the boot. Cobra strike. Oh, the venom.
Yeah, at least he sold that shit. That's another one of them moves.
Number 10, the Great Khali, the Brain Chop.
Oh my God, Cole, look at the businessman is.
The worst wrestler in all of professional wrestling itself, right next to Mongo McMichael from WCW.
Look at how he's huge.
When the Great Khali debuted in
That's WWE for you.
2006, fans expected him to have a devastating finisher. After all, Khali was a 7-foot man who looked like he could snap another wrestler with his bare hands. But when Khali made his pay-per-view debut at Judgment Day 2006 in an infamous match against the legendary Undertaker, fans soon realized that Khali simply couldn't wrestle. Naturally, his finishing move was as lackluster as his wrestling. His finishing move would simply be a chop to the head.
Watch yourself here. Whoa, chop to the skull.
You see that dude with the Bieber ball, yo? Look at his face.
Yourself here. Whoa, chop to the skull.
Him right there. You like, what the fuck was that? That was it? That was it? That was a huge waste of time, man.
John Cena, the 6th move of doom. John Cena has become infamous for having the 5 moves of doom.
That gay ass karate move he did, I remember that shit. Didn't he train with like Jackie Chan or some shit? And he pulled that shit out. We was like, the fuck? What was that?
One move more than Kevin Nash's arsenal of moves. The 5 moves of doom is the idea that Cena only has 5 moves in his arsenal, but that's enough for him to seemingly win every match.
Attitude adjustment, and Cena wins.
Despite this, in 2018, Cena would finally debut a 6th move, and appropriately named it the 6th move of doom.
A new maneuver that has a true foundation in Chinese culture.
The move was promoted prior on social media, and fans were expected to be blown away by the move, as Cena had certainly got a lot better in the ring in recent years.
Cena building momentum, second rope. What the? Cena!
I did enjoy that springboard stunner he used to do, even though he almost botched it every time.
However, during the Super Showdown pay-per-view in 2018, Cena would finally perform the move, and it...
Oh, don't remind me. Them goddamn out of the country shows, Super Showdown, Crown Jewel, and all this other bullshit they be doing in Saudi Arabia. And them shows was awful. Awful. Especially the first Crown Jewel. Oh my God. That was easily the worst pay-per-view that year. And it wasn't even a regular pay-per-view. It was a damn house show.
was simply one of the lamest moves in WWE history.
Just as bad as the Judas effect in AEW, but at least people sell the Judas effect as if it's actually devastating. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, it's got there Chris Jericho, so of course he's gonna get away with it. You know what I'm saying? It actually don't even look as bad. It looked bad when he first pulled it out. Pause the way that sounded, but it looked bad the first time he did it. But as time went on, the Judas effect actually started to look a lot better.
Cena began by doing a bizarre cross with his arms. He then proceeded to throw a basic work punch at Elias in the match, and that was it. The fans in attendance didn't know what to make of the move, as it was truly awful. It was made even worse that Elias had to sell a basic work punch as a finishing move, and it just came across as comedic rather than impactful.
It was supposed to go to his face, but yet he hit him in the shoulder. Yeah, wrestling is real, folks.
The move was supposed to tie in with Cena doing a movie with Jackie Chan, but many fans failed to make this connection. Number 8, the Berserker over the top rope throw. In 1991, WWE debuted the Berserker. The character was a living, breathing wrestler Viking. Things don't change in the WWE, do they? Despite the gimmick being an interesting idea for the time, he was very much a comedic character, and his finishing move expressed this.
To be about 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, you can really tear somebody's ACL doing that shit. And what the hell did he got on? Looked like he wearing a dress. You look like Big Vito. Remember him? Oh man, I remember one of those SmackDown tapings we went to back in the day. It was back in 2006, 2007, when they turned Vito into a complete comedy character. I think he already was a comedy character, but he started coming out wearing dresses and shit. And his theme song was so gay that we decided, you know what, we gonna play along with it. As soon as it came out, dum 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 dum. Me and my uncles, we were like, "Girl, pussy." Oh man, I miss them days, yo, when wrestling was actually good.
Number 7, Wade Barrett, Wasteland.
Mark my words, I am going to become WWE champion here.
Wade Barrett had all the tools to be a massive star. He received an instant main event push upon debuting on Raw as part of the Nexus stable.
And then look what happened. All 7 of them buried in less than a year.
Fans expected Barrett to win the WWE title in 2010, as he was over as hell, cut great promos.
If I don't win this match, I fire you tonight.
And was great in the ring. Despite this, one of Barrett's downfalls was his finishing move.
Barrett, 416 pounds, Mark Henry, slammed to the mat.
Almost killed him. And that dumbass face he used to do, oh!
His finishing move would be called a Wasteland, and it would involve Barrett getting his opponent in a fireman's carry.
Then he started doing the bullhammer elbow, which looked a lot better.
The reaction of the crowd was always met with a bit of an awkward silence, as the move was so anticlimactic. At least to Barrett's credit, he would go on to use the bullhammer elbow.
Yeah, that beat go hard though. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't say shit about it this whole time, but I'm just now listening to the beat. It sounds like some Chucky beat shit. Only thing that's missing is the Chucky beat.
Number 6, Eva Marie, Sliced Bread.
Don't even mention her, man. One of the worst female wrestlers in WWE history. I'm glad that she left. Remember they tried to delay her inevitable debut and they just kept doing it? All Red Everything will not be here tonight as she has come down with the flu. No, the bitch can't wrestle.
And now Seth Rollins. Oh, man!
The sliced bread is one of the coolest wrestling moves of all time. It involves the wrestler putting his opponent in a face lock before either running in the turnbuckles.
Brian Kendrick does the best sliced bread number 2. No cap.
Or naturally performing a backflip and driving the opponent down to the canvas.
Him and Ultimo Dragon.
The move has to be performed by someone incredibly athletic for it to look good.
Look at this!
And Kalisto. Can't forget about Kalisto. Salida del Sol.
For instance, if you look at
I forgot what that shit mean, but Salida del Sol.
how Brian Kendrick performs the move, that's how you execute it to perfection.
Everything right there. The Brian Kendrick. Whoa!
Look at that shit.
Unfortunately, Eva Marie
Clean.
used this as a finisher and it looks pretty awful.
This is incredible. Now finally I have a badass finisher.
Eva struggled to get the headlock
Yeah, a badass finisher that you ruined. You botched it in every match, so.
gone
Yeah.
clean, never mind executing the rotation.
She's learning how to win. Whoa!
She would set up the turnbuckles for the move as if she was stepping on lava. It was executed so poorly that it actually received laughs from the live audience during a time in NXT. Number 5, Kelly Kick.
And
What about the K2? She named her finisher after some processed weed is what she did. The K2 though. I mean, really it's called K2 for Kelly, but you get the goddamn picture.
Now, Kelly wasn't the best women's wrestler in the world, but she did indeed try to get better as the years went on. Despite this, her finishing move remained as one of the worst finishes of all time.
this little helper making Santa proud.
The move involved Kelly running up to her opponent as if she was going to perform a Seth Rollins style curb stomp, then step up and perform a leg drop across the back.
And they sold it poorly too.
Number 4, Vicky Guerrero, Cougar Splash.
That hell hath no fury over a woman scorned.
Vicky Guerrero exceeded all expectations in her role of managing talents such as Edge and Dolph Ziggler. Even over-delivered in
In
her
my
role
ears,
as GM
bitch.
of both Raw and SmackDown.
Let's just shake on it.
Of course.
Damn.
Despite this, whenever Vicky had matches,
I guess they wasn't on the same page, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I know. Old joke. You know what I'm saying? With him and Xavier Woods and that sex tape with Paige. Yeah, I know.
they were always terrible.
Tasteless.
Now, Vicky wasn't a trained wrestler, so naturally her in-ring work was going to be laughable.
What is you, a goddamn offenser? What the hell?
Vicky's finisher would be called a Cougar Splash or the Hog Splash as Michael Cole called it. It was Vicky paying tribute to her late great husband Eddie Guerrero. However, the splash was terrible. The move would be performed during the women's match at WrestleMania 26, where Vicky Guerrero had to be helped to the top rope so she wouldn't lose her balance. She would awkwardly jump to the ground and then do a splash to make it appear like she just had done the splash from the top rope.
First of all, if you can't make your way up to the top rope without help, then maybe your ass shouldn't be going to the top rope. You know what I'm saying? But then again, if Big Show's big ass can do it, then your big ass can do it. Big Show can get up there by himself. Yeah, it take him for like fucking ages, but still, he can get up there and deliver an elbow drop to the mat. But it's still impressive to see him do that shit.
Kelly was positioned as the top female talent at the time, so her being pinned at WrestleMania by Vicky to one of the worst looking finishes ever was not a great booking decision. Number 3, Brian
At all.
Saxton, Saxtonation.
Saxton Nation. I would be wrong if I said that I don't remember shit about him wrestling. I remember that he was in that abomination of an NXT competition show before it actually became NXT. You know, the NXT we all know and love.
Brian Saxton has won over fans for his decent commentary and his genuine appeal.
Decent? All he does is kiss ass the whole time. Fuck you mean decent? He's terrible. He's not worse than David Otunga by any means. David Otunga is probably the worst commentator of all time next to Madison Rayne over in TNA. But, David Otunga is actually the ass kisser. Byron Saxton is the whiner and complainer. That's what he is.
As a great human being. However, Saxton's wrestling abilities weren't the most appealing trait he had to offer. Saxton was part of Season 4 of NXT with Dolph Ziggler as his pro.
Ziggler, Saxton, WWE Tag Team Champions, huh?
You wish.
Saxton would be infamous for revealing his finisher on this season, the Saxtonation. However, this turned out to be one of the worst finishes in the history of pro wrestling.
Great defense now. Byron Saxton. Forward and back, just combined.
In essence,
What the hell was that? You couldn't come up with nothing creative, so you pretty much just did one of those SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 creative finishers and botched that shit at the same time.
Number 2, Mojo Rawley, Hyperdrive.
Yeah.
That's right, baby, because we're just...
Garbage ass finisher. Hyperdrive? Oh my god. I remember seeing that shit. What was it? Was it, like, I think it was like Naomi's Rear View? Or like Finley's Finley Press? Not Dave Finley, that's his son. Fit Finley? It had something to do with his ass. The shit was garbage. I'd rather see Naomi's ass. You know what I'm saying? Not his.
Getting started. This was day one, and it's the beginning.
Mojo Rawley has attained a reputation for being a very annoying wrestler. The Get Hype gimmick is a gimmick that featured Mojo being overexcited for his matches in an energetic and intense manner. Well, we
Yeah, the Fit Family Press. That's exactly what it is.
can't blame him for that. But despite this, his initial finish was one of the worst finishes of all time.
It's about to go from bad to
Oh,
worse.
oh.
Hyperdrive connect.
So he does it in a combo, so he hit you with his ass twice. Damn, you get hit by that. You deserve that shit, because you watch the ass come to the face right there. And then when he does the hyperdrive, you watch his nuts come to your face, will come to your chest. So basically, you're getting teabagged at the end of every match. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't take that shit if my life depended on it.
Mojo would jump around his opponent whilst they were laying down in the ring and then would proceed to jump and sit on their chest. Now, whether this was a callback to Earthquake during his days in the WWF using the Earthquake Splash, his was a little bit more effective considering he was a 300-pound plus man. In Rawley's case, it wasn't quite effective. Luckily, he would retire the move
And then that dumbass dance that he did before it, yeah, nah, bro. Don't ever do that shit again.
after turning heel in 2017, where he would begin to use a running forearm smash, which suited him much better.
Right now, look out, Ryder. Boom! What a connection there by Mojo.
Despite the
But that was pretty much the end of his WWE career. I can't even see. These motherfuckers just botching their goddamn finish and was gonna be botching my commentary now. But that was pretty much the end of his goddamn WWE career. He's pretty much spending the rest of his WWE career. I said it again. The rest of his WWE career in catering, because they broke up the Hype Bros. And now that Zack Ryder has been released and is possibly going to AEW to join Cody Rhodes, yeah, I feel like that's it for old Mojo Rawley. He's pretty much a waste of talent anyway.
and number 1, Veto dress code.
Speaking of Vito. Girl pussy!
In 2006, WWE re-debuted Vito as a
It
cross-dressing
was
man.
06. He had on flops, bro. You get beat by a man in flops, you deserve that shit. Dude had his damn toes out, man. In a dress. Come on, man. I don't even think he's even gay in real life. Don't he own a strip club? Oh wait, that's Val Venus.
The idea would come from Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon, who came up to Vito at a television taping randomly and asked him how would he feel about wearing a dress on television. Vito decided to accept the gimmick as he wasn't on television at the time, and he was worried that he would be released if they couldn't find anything for him to do.
Nice
Got
dress.
this sexy dress. You got it right, babe.
Rest in peace, Ashley Massaro, man. Rest in peace. Wasn't that good in the ring, but she was a joy to look at, I'll tell you that much. She was fine as hell.
How about me and you go out and get something to eat? What do you think, huh?
Now, to Vito's credit, he became so dedicated to the gimmick that he wore it everywhere he went, including on his travels from town to town and country to country. Vito's finisher would involve Vito putting his opponent's head under his dress so that the face was facing his crotch.
So you basically getting teabagged for real. He even had on a jockstrap. Not even a jockstrap, he had on a G-string. So he basically really had his nuts in your face. Come on, man. And then seeing that shit live and in person, I was embarrassed to see that shit, man. What was this, 2006? I was 10 years old when he was doing this shit, man. Come on, dude. That's tough. Oh, man.
He would then lock on an armbar and make his opponent submit whilst their face was impaled into his lower region.
So basically he got, oh hell no. So basically he got his dick just bouncing up on top of his head, just boing, 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 boing. While he got you in the arm bar. You ain't got no choice but to submit. I'm not about to sit in that. Shit.
Unfortunately, the gimmick wouldn't last too long, and Vito
How much of a waste was Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, and Super Crazy in WWE? In all honesty, out of the three of them, Super Crazy had the better run. You know, especially in WWE's version of ECW, which failed miserably. But, you know, out of the three of them, Juventud got fired, Psychosis then got released, and then it was Super Crazy. They had them come out as the damn Mexicals. Probably one of the most stereotypical gimmicks next to Crime Time. Rest in peace, Shad Gaspar, by the way. And people don't think WWE is racist?
Vito would be released in 2007 despite his obvious commitment to the character.
Despite his obvious commitment to the character. I'm surprised he wasn't embarrassed to play that damn character. I would be. Anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up like a condom. I just seen booty a man's butt, and I ain't even want to see that shit. I've already seen that enough back in 2006, and I seen it once live. Anyway, I'm out, man. Peace. Fuck Donald Trump. As always. Toodles.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.